What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Real Reds Talk, a fan channel that represents the absolute realist of the Manchester United community. This is your breaking news show, and we've just been informed that the CEO of Manchester United, Richard Arnold, has been fired. Vince McMahon has walked into that room and he's gone, "Richard, you're fired." And then John Murtough's had a butty hanging out his mouth. He's going, "What? I'm next. No, not me, Vince, please." And yeah, loads of shit has gone off and hit the fan, basically. But on a serious note, we could all see this happening for a while now. I mean, James, I think, was the first one from the MUFC who came on the show and mentioned that United were looking at potential new... your place in the Cosmos says you're fired. Yeah. Well, I've lost track of fucking thought already. Yeah, James from the MUFC who we had on basically said that they were looking at new sporting directors and CEOs if Ineos and Ratcliffe were to take over. And like I said, I think this is a change that we've been all expecting. I think it's going to be the first of many, to be honest with you. And yeah, there's much more to dive into in terms of the future one, who's next to come in, who's going to take the reins of that, the pressure on his shoulders, Richard Arnold's background, what he had done up until this point, and loads of other stuff, loads of other things. So let's just dive into it. There's a quote coming from the horse's mouth, Richard Arnold himself. So he leaves Manchester United after 16 years, and he said, "It's been an incredible privilege to serve this great football club through highs and lows. The constant has been the dedication of our employees and fans. I would like to thank all of them for their loyalty and commitment and wish everyone associated with the club the very best for the future." Now, look, the work he was doing before he became the CEO from a commercial perspective, financial perspective, whatever you want to call it, was absolutely fine. He was doing a really, really good job. I think when he came in, he was the group commercial director. He did a decent job there. So then he got promoted to group managing director and then became like director of PLC, which is basically assuming the club's control of the club's business operations. During his time at the club, to be fair to him, you look at the deals that he brought in, the lucrative brand deals. So the one with Chevrolet, I believe, was £600 million, which was a huge deal at the time. Even though I fucking hated that sponsor, just on the front of the shirt, so it's absolutely horrendous. And then you had the $1.3 billion deal with Adidas for 10 years, which was the most valuable in sporting history at the time. So you look at that and you're like, fantastic deals, done really, really well. Whether he only got that deal because United's a massive brand anyway, you don't really know, in terms of negotiations. I'm not sat on the table at the time, so I don't have a clue. But when you're speaking purely financial and commercially, he was great. He was really, really good, knew what he was doing. But this is where you get into the different side of it. When he took over after Ed Woodward left, who had done a fucking horrendous job for 10 years, it felt like nothing changed at all. Even now, it feels like nothing's changed at all. The issue is with Manchester United, we've always been a reactive club rather than a proactive club, whether that's in recruitment, whether that's in just making just normal decisions at board level, whatever it is throughout the club. We don't make decisions. We just react to something when it happens. Whereas proper clubs, professional clubs that are well run, have a plan, have contingency plans, plan A, B, C, and they know what they're doing. I remember the interview at the pub with Richard Arnold. I'm sure you guys remember it as well, where he was like, "Oh, this season's been shit, mate. We're burning through cash. We've spent so much fucking money and blah, 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 and all this kind of crap." And then you go and you allow and you sanction John Murtough to basically spend 85 million quid on Anthony. Now, the fact that whether the manager really wants him or not, this is why you need a sporting director and a competent sporting director. And I think John Murtough's next, by the way, and I'll discuss that. But that is why you need a competent director in charge who can make the decision and say, "No, we're not spending 85 million quid. I don't care if the manager wants him. This is our plan. This is our philosophy. And all views have to align that come from the top." Simple as that. The fact that he was going on about, like, speaking to fans about the future of the club and blah, blah, blah. I don't care what he says to fans. He shouldn't be saying, "I worry how we're going to get this sorted for the future." You should know how you're going to get it sorted. Actions speak louder than words as a CEO. And he was just full of words, but never had the actions to back it up. That won some fans over at the time, that interview at the pub, but not for me. It just, the whole appointment in general, and again, this is a theme that runs throughout the club, is the fact that it's mates rates at every single level. Like, it's who Richard Arnold got that job basically because Edward had left. He was good mates with Woodward. I think they went to university together, bankers. And he's like, yeah, Richard Arnold is the next one to step up. And, he was doing well financially, commercially, but being the CEO of Manchester United after the 10 years that Woodward had just done, you need a top level professional. And like I said, it screamed of mates rates. And I'm sick of that throughout the full club. And I think this is what Sir Jim Ratcliffe is going to change. I fully believe that. Now, the parasite Joel Glazer has released a statement. He says, I would like to thank Richard for his outstanding service to Manchester United over the past 16 years, and I wish him all the best for his future endeavours. We are fortunate to be able to call on the deep knowledge. Get ready for this. Does anyone know who this person is? We are fortunate to be able to call on the deep knowledge and experience of Patrick Stewart to provide interim stability and continuity as we embark on a search for a new permanent CEO. Look, this is a cracking decision from the Glazers. Cracking decision. If you're going to appoint an intelligent man to take the reins on a temporary basis at Manchester United as the CEO, you get the main man from X-Men, don't you? That is what you do. The geezer in the wheelchair with the brains, the brain power, you can control minds. Perfect appointment. I mean, top level. I don't know how you managed to get him in. I didn't even think he was still alive, to be honest with you. But to get the geezer from X-Men, Charles Xavier, I think it was, also known as Patrick Stewart, fantastic work. Bit strong from Ratcliffe, bit of a curveball, but he control whatever he wants, whether he uses that for good or not. Not entirely sure. I do think it's interesting for the future, though, and who we actually bring in. Patrick Stewart, I have to be fucking honest with you, all jokes aside, I don't know who he is. I don't know what he does. Maybe I should do, being part of a Manchester United fan channel, but it's just an interim thing. Will they do a thing like fucking Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, basically, where they give him a contract on a permanent basis? Probably not, because Ratcliffe's going to come in and he wants a structure at the top. And that's where it starts with Jean-Claude Blanc. Now, I don't want to dive into this too much because we have done a video, Ineos 10-step plan. And when it gets announced about Sir Jim Ratcliffe officially taking 25% sporting control, then we will drop that video in terms of what we believe they're going to do, the 10-step plan. I think it's very detailed, and we speak about the CEO, we speak about the new sporting director, we speak about loads of stuff. So do keep an eye out for that and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss a thing. Now, Jean-Claude Blanc, I did a little bit of digging in terms of what he was about, and I believe he's led organizations in Europe in terms of sporting, in terms of major sports, over the last 20 years. I think he did like the Olympics, Winter Games. He did the Tour de France. He done the Paris Dakar. He done the French Open tennis. He was also chairman and CEO at Juventus. And when Juventus went through that shit time due to the scandal, which are obviously their own fault, but they got relegated and he was in a shit position, they brought him in. And he was someone who kind of brokered these financial deals to keep the balance sheets proper. He did a lot of work there that kind of went unnoticed at the time, but obviously you look back at it now and you think what a fantastic job he did. He was brought in as a board member basically during the club's worst period in the history. And then eventually they came back, I think it was like 2008, 2009, back to the top, second place, first place, etc. And did a really wonderful job there. I think he then went to PSG around 2012-ish. Don't quote me on this, but this is just a rough kind of thing. And then stayed at PSG for 10 years, oversaw, I think they won like 50 trophies during his time there. Obviously, he had this huge investment from QSI, which helped significantly, but oversaw all of that. And then in 2022, I think Sir Jim Ratcliffe taking him on a Ineos. I can't remember the specific role. It was like a chief executive or something of Ineos Sporting Matters. And now, obviously, they have a great relationship. Sir Jim Ratcliffe is about to embark upon his journey at Manchester United. So he is the obvious guy to come in and take over Richard Arnold. And from everything I've seen, from what he's done in the game, perfect appointment. Perfect. I can't credit it anymore. He seems like the perfect man. He's been at big clubs. He's done amazing jobs on the financial side of things and the footballing side of things. And I think it'd be a great appointment. Whether it definitely happens or not, I'm not sure. But he is the favourite at the moment. If there was a bookies, he would definitely be odds-on favourite. So I'm excited about that. The other appointment they're obviously going to make, and we spoke about this yesterday on the show, so make sure you go check that out if you haven't seen it already, about Paul Mitchell coming in as sporting director. I think that's another fantastic appointment. If you look at the work that he's done at MK Dons, at Tottenham, at Southampton, at Leipzig, the type of players that he's brought through, he has a philosophy, I just hope that philosophy aligns with Eric Ten Hag's views, because if he doesn't, then he'll probably be gone, to be honest with you. But Paul Mitchell, MK Dons brought through players like Alan Smith, Dele Alli, went to Southampton during their, like, I want to call it a golden period, because I don't even know what Southampton's fucking golden period is. But when they had players like Tadic and Sadio Mane and bringing all these guys through, Paul Mitchell was there. He then went on to Tottenham, brought through players like Kieran Trippier, Heung-min Son, who's probably regarded as the greatest Asian player, or one of the greatest Asian players ever. And then went to Leipzig, worked with Rangnick at Leipzig, brought, you know what Leipzig are like, bringing through certain talents. Everywhere he's been, his track record is pretty fucking good. So John Murtough, Paul Mitchell, is fucking apples and oranges, or whatever the saying is, like completely different. Like I said, when Vince McMahon walked in the office today to announce to Richard Arnold, "You're fired," and John Murtough sat there going, "Oh, fucking hell, I'm next, Jesus Christ." This is happening for real now. These people are being removed from the thing. And why wouldn't you? If you're going to invest this amount of cash that, let's say Richard Arnold then, this amount of cash that Sir Jim Ratcliffe is, you're going to make changes and you're going to be cutthroat with it. You can't afford to dilly-dally about. So I think it's the right decision. But let's see what you guys think. Let's dive into the comments, because there's quite a few. Big up everyone in the chat as well. Absolute legends. Sam saying we need a football CEO, not a banker. I don't know why I'm so bright, by the way. Why is my face? Let me move back a little bit. People on TikTok as well. Apologies. I'll dive into the TikTok comments as well, because there's quite a few of them. Sorry, need a football CEO, not a banker. Someone who balances both sides. 100% agree with that. How many of them actually know football? If you're alluding to Sir Jim Ratcliffe and John Murtough, none of them. Don't have a fucking clue. Benjamin Beku says, "You are doing good work." Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate it. Hope you're having a lovely day. Play X-Men theme song. I wish I had it on that button right now. I wish I was on Discord and I had that button. Maybe I'll bring it in. Who knows? Your place in the cosmos. Guess what I'm drinking? Guinness. Guinness. I've become a fan of Guinness, recently. I have. I've become fond of it. It's like my new drink now. I don't know whether it's like just a spur in a moment thing, but I do enjoy a good Guinness, especially when it's made well. Anyway, it actually does say Guinness, a proper brew by any chance. Early man. Conde Shiku says, "Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon to you, Conde. Hope you're well. Let me know your thoughts on Richard Arnold being gone, John Murtough effectively being gone. Talk to me about the decisions. Would you bring in Jean-Claude Blanc? Would you bring in somebody else? How do you feel about the appointment in general?" Let's see TikTok comments. I don't usually go to the TikTok comments because it's usually just fucking rival fans who are waffling nonsense. But a lot of people in the chat. No comments, just a lot of people. Wow. That is the first I think I've ever saw that on TikTok in its life. So, yeah. I did initially have a stream. I went live, and then for some reason the fucking audio cut out, so I had to set up the stream again. But Richard Arnold has been fired. He's gone. He's gone. They were okay when they had Matt Letizia. I think you were replying. Yeah, Matt Letizia. Was that their golden period with Southampton? I don't know. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. I'll leave it at that. Richard Arnold, gone. Jean-Claude Blanc probably going to be appointed. Then John Murtough, gone. I would say Paul Mitchell probably comes in after him. I don't know what other changes they're going to make. I think they're the main people, aren't they? They're the main heads. The other kind of decisions that they make and tweaks that they make won't be as kind of grabby headlines as these ones. This was the big one. They say you got to sever the snake's head. I'm not calling Richard Arnold a snake because he doesn't seem like that type of guy, but you have to start from the top and then you work your way down. Is anyone worried for Eric Ten Hag's job? That's the question I want to leave you with. Does anyone think Eric Ten Hag will stay on as manager when these new people come in? Will it be like a 100-day kind of review? I'm not sure. But I don't. To be honest, I just want what's best for Manchester United. To be honest with you, like Sam says, worst time for a manager with new ownership. It really, really is. But I like Eric Ten Hag. I really, really like Eric Ten Hag, and I hope it works out, because I think if it doesn't work out United, he will go to another club and he will be successful. If they, you think everything he was dealing with at Ajax, with not everything he was dealing with, but the people that he had above him in Edwin van der Sar and Overmars, it was a well-oiled machine. It was perfect for him. He didn't have to worry about anything, all this fucking nonsense, the shit that went. The way Richard Arnold handled that fucking Greenwood situation, by the way, Fucking, I don't even know if I mentioned that. How have I not even talked about that? Richard Arnold, the way he handled that was a just fucking PR disaster. He had a PR plan to bring him back and then reverse the decision because of the reaction of people. That isn't a leader. That's someone who just doesn't have a clue what he's fucking doing. And not only the Greenwood situation, there was other situations that went on. I mean, the embarrassment of going to get Frenkie de Jong when you fly into Barcelona back and forth 5 times with MURTOUGH, with your gruds in your fucking suitcase. Like, there's been too many situations for me where I just looked at him. I was like, he ain't no competent leader. You need a very strong-willed personality in that spot who has experience, who's seen it all and done it all, and he just simply wasn't that. Simply wasn't that. Simple as that for me. I forgot the point I was making before. I was thinking my brain's going 100 mile an hour at the moment. But yeah, there's a lot of news going on with Manchester United. Like I said, the video for Ineos 10-stop plan has been filmed and is ready to go. As soon as that sporting control thing gets announced, that will drop. We have a news show later on. Well, it's a bit of a hybrid. There'll be a news show, and I think Sam's got something planned for that as well, which is quite fun. So make sure you join us for that. And yeah, loads of stuff coming up. It's been a very, very busy day for Real Reds Talk. So as always, make sure you're staying locked into the socials. Check us out on Instagram, people on TikTok. Check us out on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, all that good stuff. Subscribe, leave a like on the video for us. But yeah, Richard Arnold is effectively gone. He will leave at the end of the year, and more new people are coming in. The start of a change. Let's see what happens. Take care, everyone. Have a lovely rest of your day, and we'll see you later on at 7 o'clock for the news show. See you in a bit. Peace.